This is the good table.
You get free magazines.
Stupid, yeah. We got some magazines. We're in it.
I'm gonna need
Oh,
that.
very
if
cool.
you could sign that.
Yeah, we're gonna. What does this say about us?
SDCC.
It says awesomeness.
Yeah, that's all it says.
Yeah.
It's the least
These
descriptive
are pictures, so we
article
know
about.
who you are.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
I love how 3 of these
good.
are obviously
Helpful.
show photos.
Yeah, and then
And then
Kyle's.
there's Kyle in a parking lot
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
They just caught him outside of Ralph's.
Yeah.
Hey!
Hey, huh?
So now that you guys have done multiple seasons, what's one of the most important thing that you've learned as writers that's maybe streamlined about your process? That you have a lot of scripts behind you now. Something that maybe you didn't know in the beginning that's smoother now.
I think for me, it's not any one thing. It's just the process is easier now. I mean, before we didn't know anything about writing TV when we started. Durst did a little bit. He wrote some specs, but we didn't know anything. So we were like, outline, very cool. What if we just improv'd it? And they're like, no, you got to type things. And so I think just the whole process has gotten a lot easier. That being said, though, we're 40 episodes deep now, so it's kind of like, oh, we should do an episode where there's a ghost that's haunting the office, and we're like, well, we kind of did something like that, or so we're running into that a little bit, but
Yeah.
we're still
I think
finding spots to bring the weirdness out.
a good tip as well is just to get as much done before we start filming. Just because once we get on set and stuff, you don't have as much time in the writer's room. So
How many episodes would you usually have before you start filming?
Well, we're doing 13 this time, when normally we would do 10. And so normally we would get about 7 or 8, and then have the stories broke for the other 2, and then try to write them as we're shooting, which is a nightmare because you'd work 12 hours shooting the show and then put in another 6 afterwards, and then show up the next day with just sunken in eyeballs. And they're like, oh, you look 48 years old. You're supposed to be 25. So yeah, I totally forgot what I was saying. I smoked too much weed.
You guys look like you're having so much fun on watching the episodes. How many takes does it usually take to get the one? Because I mean, you guys have to crack up sometimes.
All one take.
It's a one-off.
It's a one. It's a play. We're gonna do a live show. It'll just be a nightmare. Wow, that new take. We write our scripts, but then we also like to improv a lot. So we'll write it and then do 2 or 3 to make sure we get it how it's written, and have it loose, and then do a few more to try to get weird and different, and try to find something in the moment instead of, because sometimes you'll write a joke and you'll write it, and then when we go to shoot it 3 months later, we're like, this is a horrible joke, or it's like a reference that you're like, no one wants to hear a George Zimmerman bit right now, you know?
The other thing,
right now that'd be hot,
Yeah.
but in 4 months from now,
The
who
other thing
knows?
is we only have 4 days to pretty much, every episode we shoot is we get 4 days pretty much. So at the same time, we do kind of have to keep moving along, so you can't just spend a day on one scene getting it right. So you do have to sort of bring your A game, because the answer's 5. We get 5 takes.
Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
had any episode ideas come up from some of the improvisation you might be doing on some of the takes? Like, this would be a good episode.
I don't know if anything.
Maybe like
that
a
is-
runner or something, but like a whole episode based off our improv.
Oh, yeah, I mean, in the room, 100% when we're writing, because we'll just be talking, and somebody will just tell an off-the-cuff story, and you're like, that could be,
That's something.
that's something,
seed
that's
of
a
something.
kernel of an idea. So yeah, sometimes, but a lot of times we'll find a lot of those runners, or the sort of jargon that we use on the show. It's just something that we'll say in an improv and be like, oh no, that's what we're calling porno now. We're calling it pornog.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How the hashtags come up.
That's how it happens.
Yeah, totally. And then Comedy Central gets in and adds hashtags and ruins it for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're like, oh, we're never going to say that again.
Do you guys have some of those terms in your vocabulary beforehand?
Yeah, totally. We're not, we're not sitting in the room being like,
What's the next
we've
t-shirt?
got to have we need more t-shirt ideas. So yeah, I mean, we're like best friends, so you know how you have a shorthand with your best friends that when the outside world. So you don't have that. Yeah, I have no friends. Yeah, you have a shorthand with them, and then we're able to take that and put it on TV.
Besides Tight Butthole, I think that was like a decision that we made where we're like, let's see if we can get kids to say Tight Butthole. And it worked.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Yeah. And now we get it yelled at us everywhere. It was a great idea.
That was the one thing that my dad really likes the show, and he's very supportive, but he's like, love the show, but I don't know about that tight butthole shit. Did you just say tight butthole shit?
That's good.
That's good. We'll use that.
I
You guys
teach.
seem to be pretty much up for anything on the show, but is there anything that you had to do or say that's actually embarrassed you?
Nah,
No.
I mean, I think it's a good skill set to have as a comedian is just not to be embarrassed. I will say in one episode I'm trying to hands-free ejaculate by not touching myself and just concentrating super hard. And it was when we watched the dailies back of that, I was like, oh, what am I doing? I don't need this. Pitch Perfect 2 is coming out. I'm jumping ship. I'm a song and dance man now. Yeah, but when we watch the dailies back of that, and it's just me like, and then Kyle's cutting, I'm like, was that good? Am I,
Did
you see my
it
vein?
seem like I was?
Yeah, does it seem like I could have?
You guys are really good at pushing boundaries. Is there anything that you tried to do that was just too much and you were shut down and you weren't able to do it either in script form or something that you shot? And if so, what was it?
There was only one thing, and then they actually let us do it the next season. For season 2, we came up with this idea that the guys are super patriotic and they don't like people burning the American flag, and so they want to make an unburnable American flag. And so in the R&D process, they have to burn like 50 American flags in order to get the unburnable American flag. And at first Comedy Central's like, no fucking way, we're not going to have you burn. And I'm like, but that's the most patriotic thing, is we're trying to make an unburnable American flag. And then they were just like, nah, fuck it, just do it. Yeah.
So
You guys are out of ideas, right? Just do it.
Out of all your notes, that's the only thing that they questioned?
it.
Out of like the
Yeah.
only big note?
Yeah,
it.
really.
Good, man.
Yeah.
So they let tight butthole go.
Yeah.
Unburnable flag, not so much.
Yeah.
Well,
no.
I mean, you don't mess with America, man.
Yeah.
So where are you guys at with the movie that you're working on?
We're working on the next draft of the script right now, and it's close. We're really excited about it. We got Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg and Scott Rudin attached to produce with us, and it's a big action comedy, and it stars the three of us. It's not Workaholics, but it's basically Workaholics.
Is there particular inspiration for it? Homage?
I mean, it's like action comedy, action movies, really. Like, we love Die Hard and Lethal Weapon,
Right.
and we were like, we want to see a funny-ass Die Hard. It's kind of where we started from, and then stole all the bits from Die Hard
Right.
To put them in our movie.
And added crazy hair. And,
Added some hair.
yeah. And it worked out.
Yeah, and some chin fat, and there we go. There's our movie.
Speaking of hair, Blake, have you started selling locks of your hair yet on eBay?
I
Have you thought of
have
doing
not. I don't part with my hair very well.
Even if the ladies ask for it?
No, that's
No.
the last person
I
you want
wonder-
to give your hair.
Right.
I wonder
Yeah.
how
You give
how
a
long
woman
you
your
could
hair,
do
you
it.
give her your soul.
If you cut underneath.
Yeah, just
Like how
kind of hide it.
long? Yeah, how long you could go with giving tendrils away?
Yeah, maybe we could get a couple in the back.
Yeah, yeah. Are you asking
No,
for hair? Is that
no,
what this
I
is
don't.
about?
I have plenty.
All right.
Yeah.
I just,
I'll
You never
trade
know.
you hair for beard.
okay.
That'd be
We
cool.
can
All
do
right.
that,
cool
Yeah.
trade.
We'll tie it into each other. That would be cool.
So there's not going to be a head shaving episode in the near future that happens to you?
No, they tried, but
I think that was they added that in our contract. It's like Blake cannot cut his hair.
yeah, I think I'm not allowed to.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth. So maybe we should just do it to say,
To be punk
"Fuck
raw.
the man."
Yeah.
While burning an American flag.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we have an unburnable one now.
We
So.
do.
Well, you guys are
to whatever extent there is a straight man on the show, it stirs a little bit. And then you guys, but it's not like there's like a Kramer on the show or whatever. I mean, how do you guys view, is somebody the character that you guys push most over the top, or is it a competition to see who can go the furthest in any given episode?
I mean, it's none of those things. I think it's we've sort of made these within each story. Like one character, Blake is more immature, so Blake will do something that's more childish than Durs and myself. I'm like kind of an egotistical maniac, so like if we're going that direction, I'll be the one to like be like, no, I can do it the best. I'm so strong, and then I'll throw my back out or rip my shoulders.
Yeah, I think like with the episodes, like you kind of can choose, like if it's that character's journey, they can get very passionate about what they believe in. But yeah, we try to stay kind of equally dumb, but probably Adam is the dumbest.
Yeah, I'm definitely the dumbest. Our scripts are basically just Mad Libs. We just sort of just.
They said that they love writing your voice the best. What characters do you guys like writing?
Carl's pretty fun.
Yeah, I think definitely Carl. Carl's cool.
Because we were just talking about how he's kind of our Kramer, because anytime there's any sort of like real problem, or we're like, how are we gonna like, find somebody that like runs a go-kart place, and we're like, you could believe that Carl like has a day job where he runs a go-kart facility, or is like a mechanic, or it's easy to buy that. So he's my favorite to write.
That was probably, I think it was last season, but in one of the punch-ups, I remember Carl comes to like see Durs, and he's like, hey, you didn't give him my Kickstarter, man. And it's like, what was it for? He's like, I just want to buy hella Funyuns. It's like, yeah, that's cool. This guy has a Kickstarter just to buy Funyuns.
Oh yeah, well it was like, oh cool, you're like investing in like the Frito-Lay Corporation. He's like, no, I just want to buy Funyuns.
Yeah. So Carl's fun.
Funyuns are delicious. Don't sleep on Funyuns.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
they are. They're a sleeper.
They're a sleeper.
I used to love
They're no Cool Ranch Doritos. Everybody goes there, but.
Is it weird knowing that you got your own little flash drive that you and the bear off?
I saw that. It's actually pretty cool. It's like pretty well made. I'm very impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. We're gonna have like bobbleheads and stuff.
You're marketable.
Yeah, I guess.
There's a little magnet set, and you can like take our clothes off and stuff. We look good.
Yeah, no, they really did me well.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm way lumpier than that.
Yeah, they really. It was flattering.
Yeah.
Is there anything you couldn't afford to shoot? Something like something you dreamed up that was too expensive that you just couldn't do in an episode?
I mean, every episode we're battling with that, because we want to like do what we're trying to do with our movie, which is a big action, and we want the show, like we're up for an Emmy for best stunt stuff. So like we really want every episode to have cool stunts, or like a car chase, or like jump out of a moving vehicle, and so we really try to do that stuff, but it gets really expensive.
If we had it in the
that's
budget.
not that funny. That's just cool. Like it's just Comedy Central.
If we had the budget, we would have blown up the bow probably like 10 times.
Yeah. Every week we just keep getting it back.
I feel like we're always like, let's blow up the bow. And they're like, no.
No, you cannot. No explosions.
What's your favorite premise for an episode in the new season?
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there's some.
Yeah. My favorite one we can't talk about because it'll blow the whole episode.
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry.
Well, there's a cool one where kind of like a frat guy kind of takes us under his wing and enjoy the frat life.
Yeah, we try to live the frat life.
There's a dark side to it. So
yeah,
that one's pretty fun, and hopefully we'll get it really cool.
The title of it is Psych Bro Path.
All right, guys, we got it.
Not yet, no. Yeah. Sure.
What are you guys most surprised about after 3 seasons?
That they're still allowing us to make it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Season 1, we shot it in the house that we used to live in together, and Season 1, we didn't move out. We stayed there while we shot the first season because we were like, it's gonna get canceled, and we're gonna have our rent paid for a year, and we can save up money. And then they gave us another season, and we're like, suckers!
take the money and run.
So we still feel that way, and we have such a great time doing it. So we hope to keep it
Thanks,
up.
guys. Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Keep it up, guys. Great stuff.
Thanks.